Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where we help technology work for you. And today I have Adele with me, and we are going to go over 100 plus animal sounds with the Google Home. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, get us started.
Okay, Google, what does an alligator say?
Here's an alligator sound.
What does an alpaca say?
This is an alpaca.
What does an anteater say?
This is an anteater.
What does an antelope say?
An antelope sounds like this.
What does an ape say?
Here's what an ape sounds like.
What does a baboon say?
Here's a baboon sound.
What does a badger say?
Here's what a badger sounds like.
What does a bald eagle say?
Here's what a bald eagle sounds like.
What does a bear say?
This is a bear.
What does a beaver say?
Here's what a beaver sounds like.
What does a bee say?
Here's what a bee sounds like.
Bzz. What does a beetle say?
A beetle sounds like this.
What does a bird say?
Here's a bird sound.
What does a bottlenose dolphin say?
Here's what a bottlenose dolphin sounds like.
What does a buffalo say?
This is a buffalo.
What does a bullfrog say?
A bullfrog sounds like this.
What does a camel say?
Here's a camel sound.
What does a Canadian goose say?
Here is a Canadian goose sound.
What does a cat say?
Here's what a cat sounds like.
What does a cheetah say?
This is a cheetah.
I thought. What does a chicken say?
This is a chicken.
What does a chimpanzee say?
Here's what a chimpanzee sounds like.
What does a chipmunk say?
A chipmunk sounds like this.
What does a cockatiel say?
This is a cockatiel.
What does a cow say?
A cow sounds like this.
What does a coyote say?
Here's what a coyote sounds like.
What does a crane say?
Here's what a Manchurian crane sounds like.
What does a cricket say?
This is a cricket.
What does a deer say?
A deer sounds like this.
What does a dingo say?
This is a dingo.
Hey Google, what does a dinosaur say?
Here's a dinosaur sound.
What does a dog say?
Here's what a dog sounds like.
What does a dolphin say?
Here's a dolphin sound.
What does a donkey say?
Here's a donkey sound.
What does a dragonfly say?
A dragonfly sounds like this.
What does a duck say?
Here's what a duck sounds like.
What does an eagle say?
A golden eagle sounds like this.
What does an elephant say?
This is an elephant.
What does an elk say?
An elk sounds like this.
What does a falcon say?
Here's a falcon sound.
What does a flamingo say?
This is a flamingo.
What does a fly say?
This is a fly.
Sorry. What does a fox say?
Ring ding 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 a ding and wah pop 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 a pow. Or so I've heard.
What does a frog say?
Here's what a frog sounds like.
What does a gibbon say?
Here's what a gibbon sounds like.
What does a giraffe say?
Here's what a giraffe sounds like.
What does a goat say?
A goat sounds like this.
What does a goose say?
A goose sounds like this.
What does a gorilla say?
A gorilla sounds like this.
What does a grasshopper say?
A grasshopper sounds like this.
What does a guinea pig say?
This is a guinea pig.
What does a hedgehog say?
Here's a hedgehog sound.
What does a horse say?
This is a horse.
What does a human say?
This is a human.
That's totally awesome.
What does a human say?
This is a human.
Ooh, that's sweet.
What does a human say?
Here's what a human sounds like.
You're wrong.
What does a human say?
This is a human.
I'm hungry.
That's me.
Say it.
I'm hungry. What does a hummingbird say?
This is a hummingbird.
What does a humpback whale say?
A humpback whale sounds like this.
What does a killer whale say?
Here's a killer whale sound.
What does a lemur say?
This is a lemur.
What does a leopard say?
Here's a leopard sound.
What does a lion say?
This is a lion.
What does a llama say?
This is a llama.
What does a manatee say?
Here's what a manatee sounds like.
What does a monkey say?
This is a monkey.
What does a moose say?
Here's a moose sound.
What does a mosquito say?
Here's what a mosquito sounds like.
What does a mouse say?
Here's a mouse sound.
What does orangutan say?
An orangutan sounds like this.
What does an ostrich say?
This is an ostrich.
What does an otter say?
Here's what an otter sounds like.
What does an owl say?
Here's an owl sound.
What does a panda say?
Here's a panda sound.
Hey. What does a panther say?
This is a panther.
What does a parakeet say?
Here's a parakeet sound.
What does a parrot say?
Here's a parrot sound.
Tickle, tickle. Tickle, tickle. Can I have some of your apple?
What does a peacock say?
Here's what a peacock sounds like.
What is that?
What does a penguin say?
Here's what a penguin sounds like.
What does a pig say?
This is a pig.
What does a rabbit say?
A rabbit sounds like this.
What does a raccoon say?
Here's a raccoon sound.
What does a rat say?
This is a rat.
What does a rattlesnake say?
A rattlesnake sounds like this.
What does a rhino say?
A rhinoceros sounds like this.
Ah! Oh,
Did
does a robin say?
This is a robin.
What does a rooster say?
Here's what a rooster sounds like.
Time to get up.
What does a sea lion say?
Here's what a sea lion sounds like.
What does a seagull say?
Here's what a seagull sounds like.
It's like outside.
What does a seal say?
This is a seal.
What does a sheep say?
Here's a sheep sound.
What does a sparrow say?
A sparrow sounds like this.
What does a squirrel say?
A squirrel sounds like this.
What does a swan say?
Here's what a swan sounds like.
It's like a horn.
What does a tiger say?
Here's a tiger sound.
Scary. That's a toad.
Hey Google, what does a toad say?
Here's what a toad sounds like.
What does a tortoise say?
A tortoise sounds like this.
What does a turkey say?
A turkey sounds like this.
What does a turtle say?
Here's what a turtle sounds like.
Never heard a turtle say that before. Have you?
What does a vulture say?
This is a vulture.
What does a walrus say?
Here is a walrus sound.
What does a weasel say?
Here is a weasel sound.
It sounds like a little... What does a whale say?
A whale sounds like this.
What does a wolf say?
This is a wolf.
Hey Google, what does a wolverine say?
Here's what a wolverine sounds like.
What does a zebra say?
Here's a zebra sound.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, guys. That was more than 100 animal sounds. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. All right, should we sound like whales as we leave? Subscribe! Like the video! Hey, Google.
Goodbye.
Take care.